Yep.
Crossface Club, prepare to
die!
Not too bad. That was pretty cool, man. That's my intro. That's my intro. Pretty cool.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Southie. We're coming in fresh. We're coming in hot. It's a Friday, but my guest, I have the current Suplex Tag Team Champion, former AWF Tag Team Champion. He is the problem child and not Chris Jericho, Jake Gibson. What's going on, dude?
Oh, not much, man. Thank you for that little subtle thing at the end. I am definitely not Chris Jericho, unlike some people seem to get me confused. I'm not entirely sure why, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, because like you look, you honestly look nothing like him. Like makes no sense. Makes no sense.
I mean, it can definitely be flattering if it wasn't like so constant. Like, I'm not even trying to copy him in any fashion. I'm just doing my thing.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. Man. People just like to throw it out there because it's just easy to drag on me, I guess. That's fine. Gets under my skin. I guess that's what they want to do. Yeah.
But let's talk about your time in the AWF. What was it like working under TNT with guys like Dean Draven, Jack Payne? Jack Payne was in AWF, the Blacktown Brawler, Whiskey Six. So tell us a bit about your time in the AWF.
Well, going back nearly a decade now. I started through them, obviously. That was AWF Training School, 2014. That's when I broke in. Fairly intimidating for a guy that didn't really know what to expect when it comes to, the pro wrestling business, what's real, what's, showbiz, and like blurring the lines and learning all these personalities, like you said, your Dean Dravens, your TNTs. And, like you get your experienced veterans that are more than happy to help you out. And then you just get guys that are just not necessarily intentionally rude or mean, but like you feel like you're walking on eggshells sometimes if you're not too careful. Having guys like Dean, definitely, like, he took me under his wing, man, and I'm forever grateful for that, quite frankly. TNT as a trainer, there were days where he was like very, very passionate and very caring for the product and his trainees, which I'm grateful for because I wouldn't be in the wrestling business without TNT. That's a fact. But like with every promotion, you get your good days and your bad days, and I was timed out there. You get these days, and like, I don't know, it just comes to a certain point where, like, I was there for about 4 years, I think. It's where we met. What did you say it was? The 15th anniversary, I believe.
15th anniversary show. Yeah, this one. Believe it or not, guys, 9 years ago, a couple weeks ago, my first ever show. And I was dressed up like a fucking Mark John Cena guy with the fucking foam title. Legit, I still have it somewhere now. Yeah, it was the kids' plastic belt, but now obviously I've got like legitimate belts, like the Raw Tag, IC title. Yeah, I've got pretty much every single one of them. Well, or not all, but all of them. But like
no, I mean that's still pretty cool. But you know who else happened to be at that show? Surprisingly. Because you wouldn't. I don't think you'll guess it.
Wasn't he like? Was it Alex Titan?
Oh no! I mean in the crowd, someone who's a wrestler now.
Oh, but, the crowd
wasn't.
I've got zero clue. My brain's gone blank.
All right, that's fair enough. The She-Wolf Leto was in the crowd.
Wow.
My tag team partner. Yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah,
My mind is blown right now because like I saw it posted down in like the train station for like a show. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, sweet. And then I look, oh shit, like Brian Kendrick. I'm like, yeah, sweet. First ever show. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. After I keep going for like probably 3-4 years, and then like I just go like once in a blue moon. But it is what it is. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, like the fact that you don't know who like. I was at they did a Tommy Dreamer seminar like when I was dipping my toes into the local wrestling scene at the time, just a bit earlier that year. And I happened to go there, like, my dad just drove me, and I thought, oh, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. And that kind of was one of the first driving forces into getting me into wanting to do this because, I was always just very hesitant about the idea. But, like they took a photo, and to see the amount of guys in that seminar that are now like wrestlers or were wrestlers, like there's so many people that I now recognize. I didn't have a clue who they were at the time, that's pretty crazy too. But yeah, man, like AWF in 2014 was rocking and rolling, honestly. Some good memories there. Yeah.
A lot of
I'm
great shows.
Sorry?
A lot of great shows there too. The August show was great. Because like that show was like $10 tickets. Like you really can't beat that.
August Appreciation, right? That's what that was. Yeah. What was his name? Michigan Rampage, I think. What was his name?
Oh yeah, Rampage. We want to send him some well wishes. He's not doing too good at the moment. He's like on oxygen and stuff. Sending out some well wishes to you, buddy. We definitely miss you because
man. I have no idea. That's not good to hear, man.
Yeah. I haven't spoken to him in like probably 3-4 years. Should get him on for a chat, but no. All right, let's talk about your time in Wrestle Strong Dojo. Obviously, with the greatest faction, the Crossface Club. What was it like working with those guys? Obviously, Banjo Powers over in Adelaide, Dean Draven still in Sydney, and obviously Leto, your current tag team partner and tag team champion. We'll talk about Suplex in a second because I see there's a fourth member. And it's just simply C.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, we'll get to that, but don't you worry.
Yeah.
My time in Wrestle Strong Dojo, like when it came, like I like being loyal. I'm loyal. I like to believe that I am to a degree, in regards to like I'm giving you 110%, and I want those opportunities to come my way if I'm busting my ass. And I'm not necessarily saying that happened towards the end of my AWF run. Consider it, I think I just wanted to branch out and just try some different things, because the Crossface Club storyline wasn't really panning out like we thought it would in AWF. And, guys have their falling outs and whatnot. And, like I tend to just follow the people that are good to me. Like wherever they go, I'll follow because, that's just the way it is. And that happens with every promotion. So with Wrestle Strong Dojo, when that formed, I was all for it. I was day number one signed up, because Amy Action, Lisa, she had taken on a few training classes with the AWF. And for whatever reason, whenever she ran those classes, I picked up things like that so quickly. Not to say that, Greg or whomever else that was running training at the time, like I just had a bit of a better connection with how things were, like the information was coming to me, if that makes sense. So I figured, why not venture into this, try something different, expand. Because at the time, like I thought I was doing okay considering, like I'd been in an active wrestler for the AWF for about 2 years and, tag team champion, pretty lengthy run. I think a year and a half, I think with Brawler, which you can't argue with that. That's pretty damn good. But like I felt kind of like a little boxed in, and that was just because of creative and it's just the way it is. So with Wrestle Strong, new platform, new opportunity, new ways of training, new techniques, all this stuff, and I figured why not just go for it. And what they really helped me on too was getting a better like technical base going. Instead of just doing the punching and the suplexes and all that stuff. I understand my amateur wrestling sort of, as a base that you can work around, how to tell it in a story, better psychology, stuff like that. And, because the product was catered to not a more specific audience, but just say more kid-friendly over your average Australian indie show, more specifically catered for children. I had to drop sort of the, how would you call it? Not edginess, but like, I couldn't be as rude or as like, I couldn't give anyone the finger. And how do I work it? Because that's like cheap heat. So how the hell, how do I work around that, And, they gave me that platform to figure these things out, which I'm going to appreciate until, forever. And, they gave me the moniker of Jake Foot on the Ropes Gibson. They always had a good laugh about that because it came to the point where I was winning every match by getting my foot on the ropes. And, they turned that into like a little bit of a story with Irvine and, Ryan Miller and all that. And then gradually the Crossface Club came into effect, when they brought that in. That logo, man, like they presented the original logo to me and they said, like, can you take this and make it more modern, make it newer, make this our own? And I'm like, yeah, I'll have a crack at it, and like they want that circular sort of logo with the skull. And I just established 2017, man. Me, Dean and Brawler were the original Crossface Club, and we wanted to have that translated with the Wrestle Strong audience. Because we're like, picking it back up, there was a history there. There was a brotherhood, and me and Banjo came in and just, I don't know, like for a couple of months, like rookies, sometimes they don't get it straight away. I struggled when I broke in, getting a lot of the fundamentals down and just wrapping my brain around everything. Banjo, like for a couple of months, kind of like hung in, but then something clicked in his brain and he took it and like he understood it and just ran with it. Because like I took him down to Canberra once and we did a tag team match and we're just talking, and he got it, So when we were doing our tag team stuff, it was just like the chemistry was already there. And I remember the both of us presented this to Dean and Lisa at the school. Hey, like we've got good chemistry here. I think we've got something. Why don't we do something with it? So we formed the Headliners. Are you familiar with the Headliners? Yeah,
I believe yeah. Obviously.
I mean, like I wish we had a bit more time to like really expand upon that because we had such good chemistry and we got that finisher, the Eater Richard, obviously, just screwing around a bit at training because we were setting up for that Bonnie Rig show. And, just getting some, moves down, some ideas down, names down for the moves. And like, we're trying to come up with a nice, easy finisher. And it just sporadically came to me once because I think I saw him sitting on the top turnbuckle. And I just grabbed his and put him on my shoulders. And then, I forgot who was it. Maybe it was Shaz or whoever was at training. And I've just gone and splashed him, over my head. And that just seemed to work, and we took that and we ran with it. And it just seemed like a natural progression for the Headliners to join, the Crossface Club. I wish I had a bit more time with that too, because right at the time that they reformed the club, my daughter was born and I had to take some time off. But thankfully, if you watch the episodes, they're either on Fight or on YouTube. I'm not sure which, if they're all on either one platform. But they still keep me in the storyline even when I had the time off. I did a lot of segments and stuff like that. I filmed a lot of stuff from home, and like the fact that we got Adam involved, Adam Fakar, in breaking my arm and whatnot, that was pretty fun. And I just wish we had a bit more time to really expand upon that. But like with most wrestling organizations, man, things just kind of like I don't want to say fall apart because I was. I'm very grateful for my time there. I wish a lot of the politicking had kind of I'm too old for it. I've got a family. I don't want to hear the drama and all the stuff. Like, with wrestling locker rooms, you're going to have your big egos and whatnot. And they're going to clash. And it's hard when a lot of these guys you formed a lot of, a really strong bond and friendship with, and they're like, saying how hurt they are that someone else in the same school said something or did something or they mistook something, and it's drama, and I just didn't want any part of it. And It came down to, like even some of it was being reflected onto me, even though I did my best to stay out of everything. And it made me, towards the end of my run, like it made me very bitter, I guess, because and it made me a bit frustrated too, because things are being said about you behind your back, and it's like, why? What the hell did I do? And I didn't start anything. I've done nothing but respect Dean. I still do, absolutely. I'm so grateful for the car rides throughout the years, the advice, being in the ring with him just being so cool with me. You know what I mean? I'm forever grateful for that, and I always will be. But I just needed a bit of a hiatus from there, which is I took that. I didn't necessarily leave some of the other guys did. The idea was to just have a hiatus, work a few other spots elsewhere, and then just sort of see where I'm at, But that being said, I don't know. I've got no beef with anyone necessarily there. At least I don't think so. So it's up to them, if never say never. But I'm certainly enjoying my time at Suplex, and I like being able to travel because I'm a father now. My schedule's fairly restricted. I can only do so much now, So being able to work around the local territories in New South Wales and do it like I did Australian Wrestling Superstars against Jay Sorbet. Never wrestled him before. I figured, why the hell not? When am I ever going to do that again? Going from strictly just Russell Strong and just not necessarily getting out of the environment, just making myself available, having that hiatus has really opened up my mind for being able to just try all these different things that I haven't been able to do before. And I've really enjoyed that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like I said, never say never. Quite frankly, Crossface Club, man, Mark Irons has that tattooed on his arm because that means that much to him. So it's one of the biggest parts of my wrestling career, and I'm never going to forget that. I made that logo, and I've still got all the shirts and the merchandise. There's a gold edition shirt for the boys that were in the club. That's what's hanging up in the wardrobe. Sorry, Southgate. That's Russell's only. That's so good.
Come on, really?
Yeah, sorry,
God
mate.
damn it.
But I wish them luck and everything, quite frankly, and I've got no heat. Things were said, and you're human. Sometimes you just kind of say things in the moment you don't necessarily mean. But I couldn't hang around there. Just you know what I mean? Time heals all wounds, and hopefully sometime in the future, you never know. You never know, and that's just Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your time in Suplex, because you are currently one half of the Suplex Tag Team Chiefs with the She with Leto. Now, I've been hearing some good things about Suplex. Now, I will get to a show. But currently, Dad is recovering from having a knee replacement surgery 2 weeks ago. So getting the show is going to be a little bit hard.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Take your time. Heal up, man. Don't go rushing. But by all means, you are missing out.
Yeah, for sure. So, what are those shows like? Because you guys were at Hexham, I believe, to start off with, and gradually got up to Cessna. What are those shows like? Because I've been hearing some good things about that company.
Fun. Honestly, obviously with every wrestling promotion, you need to have your rules and your boundaries. So having too much fun can be a bit chaotic. You don't want that. But I find that the locker room, it's nice and relaxed. Everyone I took about a year off in between my two stints there, and when that first started, it happened because of the fallout, the Hunter Valley fallout, I like to call it. You've been there for the Hunter Valley days. It's like I said, a group of guys just tend to leave just because egos flare and stuff just happens, But joining Suplex again, they gave me a platform that I think that was the first step into going from a mid-card guy that wasn't overly confident in himself, as an AWF Tag Team Champion or an ICW mid-card champion. And they gave me the platform to be the first ever junior heavyweight champion. And they said, this belt is as equally important as the heavyweight title, and we're giving this to you. So in honor of that, me being that guy, I took the ball and I ran with it because they gave me complete freedom to just let loose, be a little, like a degenerate. That's just who I am naturally, like I'm always going to be a big kid, be a bit silly, have a bit of fun, be a little rude, that's just how I roll. And having that freedom to just sort of go out there and do that and play on that. And Christ, I got to be in the ring with Isaac Butterfield. Like, that's pretty gnarly. The guy 6'7" made me look like a midget, but had a lot of fun doing that, and that platform really helped me learn. Just because it's such a bigger platform, like getting better on the microphone, being able to feel the crowd better, having an understanding of psychology, all that stuff. It got better from the moment that I started there, and that was all because I was given the opportunity from Jackson Spade. And just seeing that company grow over the last 5 years, I was there for the first 7 chapters. They did a Stroud, like a local country show and like some side shows. I was there for all that. Took a bit of a hiatus. Came back at chapter 20. Got a pretty gnarly pop. Like I was actually surprised that the Cessnock guys remembered me. Because we, like you said, we started at Hexham. Just feeling out, some good venues, as you do. You need to find a home, and it's all about what type of crowd you can draw at that venue and whether the venue helps promote. And, it's not like they need to do all of it for us, but you know what I'm getting at. But yeah, like seeing them grow over the last 5 years has been so crazy. And the talent that's come out of that school, man, like Matt Gage is now the undisputed champion.
How good is Matt Gage? Seriously,
Oh my
he's
God.
that fucking good. First of all,
Yeah.
it's like this guy's a bit of a fucking weirdo, and also like, you sure? I'm like, oh my God, I love this guy. Fucking.
But hey, you know what? Yeah, how sexy is Matt Gage?
Gagey baby, I love him.
No,
he's
but,
the guy.
watching him, I think he refereed my match. When chapter 2. It was me and Jaden Jacobs, sort of, doing an exhibition match for the junior heavyweight division. And I'm pretty sure it was him, Matt Gage, that refereed our match, which is pretty crazy. And then to see his character debut at the very first homegrown show we did a couple miles down the road. I can't quite recall the venue. But to see him do that first promo, he's a bit nervous, he's a bit shaky, and he's still kind of figuring his gear out. To watch the transformation over the last 5 years, him and guys, like Malice come through and Chris Stevens and there's so many guys. C Factor. Yeah. There's a handful of guys, man, that have really made a name for themselves through the Suplex brand, and I like to think some of my best work is with them, quite frankly. And like now that we've done our 5th anniversary show, and like you said, I've gone from the first ever junior heavyweight champion to the current reigning Suplex tag team champion. Like that is an honor in itself. The fact that I've now held 2 championships with this company that I hold very dear, because I consider myself a day one. In my promos, I call myself, the Mount Rushmore of Suplex, or like, some silly stuff like that, because, like I said, like just with the sheer talent that's come through, I'm proud to be a part of all that, and watching Leto blossom, going from, doing the Sydney shows, coming out all the way out to, Cessnock, and then the reaction she naturally got, the pop in the crowd. And it actually took a while. It took the crowd maybe 2 or 3 shows to get used to the fact that we've turned to heel, doing Insurgency. That means, it's great to have, when we sell that building out, like, it's just, there's nothing like it, honestly. Makes me still want to be a wrestling fan. And I'm grateful that I've joined the wrestling business in moments like that. Because, when Matt Gage won the title, I went back out, to the merch desk just to get ready to start, mingle with the audience and whatnot. And I saw the final moments, and the crowd reaction was insane, absolutely insane. It was deafening. That being said, equally as deafening was in that same night, just the segment before, I'm sure you've seen it, C Factor decided to I don't know, get with the program, stop being screwed around by Timothy Wilkes. You know, you can only take so much from Timothy Wilkes when he's not treating you right. Been there, done that, mate. You know, and he joined insurgency. You know, all for good reason. Quite frankly, we were sick of Chris Stevens being, you know, misused, you know, as some sort of, you know, curtain jerker or just some mid-card guy. You know, give him a match that'll make him happy. Like 5 years of that, you know, it's a bit much. It's time that he got his due. And you know, in August, at Chapter 40, I reckon he's going to become the next and the greatest streaming champion. So,
all right. Before we end it, let's talk about your time down in Canberra, because my one and only Canberra show was 2018. I've been dying to get back down there. What are those crowds like? Because the show I went to, obviously, I'm a Knights supporter. The Knights played down there on the Sunday, so it kind of worked in well. The crowd was pretty solid. So, what's it like wrestling down in Canberra?
Well, there are shows that are completely sold out, and then there are shows that just don't do. You know, they don't draw that well. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I guess it's just like a season in regards to, I don't know, maybe it's bad timing. You know, there's a lot there's a lot that happens down in Canberra, which is shocking. But you know, like Insane Asylum is the next. It's tomorrow, and I'm defending. Wait, where that belt right there behind me. I'll be defending the tag team championship with my mate Dojo. And with it being the biggest show of the year, from what I heard, ticket sales are pretty damn solid, which is great to hear. And you know what? I think at times they can be the absolute loudest crowd compared to Newey, compared to Sydney. When they're into it, they're into it. And you can only appreciate that, quite frankly, because, you know, when you bust your ass in front of a crowd that just doesn't care, then what's the point? You know? So I'm forever grateful for that too, you know. And Canberra was also one of those first places that gave me an opportunity when I was new. And, you know, I've been grateful for that. And then I'm paying them back, you know, still to this day by coming down, you know, once, twice, 3 times a year, maybe, depending on my schedule, and bringing some Sydney friends down, you know, just to have a bit of fun and, you know, have some good matches, you know. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, if you're in Canberra, get down there. It's a great show. Unfortunately, I will be down there in less than 6 weeks to see the Knights hopefully beat the Canberra Raiders once again. But tomorrow we've got the Panthers tomorrow out of Penrith, so I'll be going.
I go for the Bulldogs. I've got no hope this year.
We got the Dogs next Sunday at Core Stadium. I'll be going. So should be good. Should be a good one. Jay, we've been going for nearly 30 minutes, man. I could do a part 2 if you, Leto, Chris Stevens are all keen. I'm down the road. Hit me up. But guys, where can people find you on social media?
I primarily use my Facebook. I do the handle is Jake Gibson KOD. It used to stand for Kick of Destiny. Destiny was my finisher, but changed that. So Jake Gibson KOD on Facebook, or if you just type in Jake Gibson Pro Wrestler on the search bar, should be there. Instagram, I do Jake Gibson _rental. That's my shoot name. And I think it's just primarily those 2 platforms I use. So, yeah.
Easy. Well, Jay, thank you. Good sir, can't believe I've known you for about almost 10 years. Holy
crazy,
shit,
right?
balls.
Yeah, right.
Can't believe 10 years ago, some kid from Western Sydney went to see AWF. Now, fast forward, he's talking to one of their former tag team champions. It's crazy.
Crazy. Oh, mate, crazy. It's crazy world, honestly. And to think that the amount of people we've both met, you know, in this business, and the fact that we're still here. Like, honestly, how nuts is that?
Yeah, still here.
Still here, man.
Anyways, guys, we're going to get the hell out of here. Mr. Gibson, thank you. Good, sir. Good luck tomorrow night in Canberra, and good luck to your Bulldogs next Sunday. They're going to need, because we're going to come there. We're going to beat your ass 44-0. Anyways, guys.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, guys, we're going to bounce. Catch you on next time. Peace.
Crossface Club, prepare to